This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
And Mad Max Araj. We got the trio together tonight. Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, Mad Max Araj. Thursday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Very busy Thursday night, fellas. It was already going to be a busy one. And then we had a lot of stuff that got moved from last night to tonight. So the schedule got kind of loaded up. I know, were you guys out at softball at USCB today?
Yeah, that's where it was today.
Yes.
USCB softball.
Yeah, long day. So my day started with fifth grade career fair at Pritchardville Elementary, recruiting some future interns to Team Lowco, perhaps, and showing them clips of what we do every night and getting them excited about the Lowco Sports Center because they could relate to that.
Awesome.
They knew what Sports Center was. So, it was pretty cool. I had a great time. I talked AC/DC with one young man who had great taste in music. I was told I was a cool dad, which I'm still floating on cloud nine from that. Fifth grade girl told me I was a cool dad. That's like a badge of honor right there. But then there's been stuff going on all night. I got to check out some middle school baseball tonight, which is just fun watching kids I've watched grow up playing middle school ball. And the highlight of the night, I think, for everybody, I got to see some lacrosse and a little baseball over at May River. I love these spring nights where you can kind of pop between venues on one campus and see all kinds of people and different really stuff. But Max, I think you were at the one that we were all most interested in tonight. And as a Hilton Head Christian Academy alum, you're pretty fired up tonight. You're riding high. Tell us about what went down in the nets.
So that was a huge game. I've been waiting to see Christian Academy play a tougher opponent this year. Hilton Head High School is very much so a tougher opponent, but it was no problem for the Eagles tonight because they ended up taking the win 9-4 in the end. It was a very weird game. A lot of errors came from Hilton Head High School. There were a couple of errors from Hilton Head Christian Academy. A lot of errors, a lot of wild pitches from Hilton Head High School, but what a game! I was excited. First win for Hilton Head Christian Academy over Hilton Head High School since 2018. So 6 years ago. This month. So that's huge. I was a junior that year at Hilton Head Christian. So I think that long ago. James Crosby pitched amazing tonight for the Eagles. I was expecting Cody Bratt to start, but he didn't pitch at all tonight. That's fine. James Crosby did really well. Four and a third innings pitched, had 6 strikeouts, maybe 4 batters that ended up on base while he was pitching, and then the quarterback Dylan Clark came in relief, and he pitched 2 2/3 innings, and he struck out 4. So again, pitching by the Eagles, man.
That's the difference.
This is what we've been talking about.
Up this year is the pitching department, and to have that good start from James Crosby, and then to see a guy like Dylan Clark, who's a multi-talented athlete, come in, back it up, and get the job done. That's impressive stuff over a Hilton team with some talented guys in that lineup.
Yeah, the weird thing, speaking of the talented bats, the weird thing was not a lot of offense tonight for the Eagles. I mean, they scored 9 runs, but it was off of errors. Yeah, three of the runs were scored on errors. Four hits.
4 hits and 5 errors. Yeah.
So and Steel Bird had 3 walks in the game and a strikeout.
Yeah, they drew 11 walks and 3 hit by pitches, so 14 free bases combined with 5 errors. We'll do it every time.
And that's the other thing. Their base running is extremely impressive. They got great base runners. It was just a weird game, but Christian Academy got the win. Biggest in terms of margin of victory, biggest one I think Christian Academy's ever had over Hilton Head High School. A big deal. Great game. We've said it. They're state title contenders. They just played a school that's a much tougher opponent than what they've faced pretty much all season long, and they just proved to everyone, hey, we are the team to beat in the Low Country right now. We are the team to beat. So, I'm excited to see what the rest of the season holds for them. But Yeah,
when it started. I
yeah,
mean, this is as good as it gets to be, your rival. I mean, they're no longer, I guess, in Hilton Head on the island, but they're still
no.
they're still rivals, even though they're across the bridge now. But man,
Yeah, that's always
we've arrived. We're here to play and we're here to compete against anybody. And you got to think this puts them into a team that's going to contend for a state championship. In my opinion,
for sure.
playing like this down the
Absolutely.
road. So, do you agree that this is a state championship contending team?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
They are a state championship contending team. I mean, just watching them play on all sides of the ball, they have good defense. They had a couple errors tonight, but that's fine. But they have great defense. They have exceptionally good offense, even though it didn't really show up tonight. It was just a really weird night overall. But they have and on top of that, I think the main thing that they have is they have a great coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which helps a lot. And it's funny because we mentioned this. I talked about this the other night after we ended the Loco Lowdown. We talked about it after. We mentioned that the pitching coach for Christian Academy. It's funny enough. I guess the modern world has come to the Low Country because they're using PitchCom for their pitchers and catchers and stuff like that. And I find that extremely impressive. And that just shows how professional this coaching staff is.
Yeah.
They're extremely talented coaching staff, extremely talented team.
They are.
I don't know,
They've got
man.
a really good thing going there throughout that baseball program. It's not just at the top, but like
No,
the way they had Danny Morgan come up and coach the middle school and
middle
then
school
take
team,
on
yeah.
the JV and kind of follow them up. And now Coach Jackson has the middle school, and they've got a nice pipeline going there. They've built that
Yeah.
program in a really good way, and you're definitely seeing the payoff. I mean, almost all of them are playing high level travel ball from a young age, and they've got a good pipeline going. So no,
Yeah.
I'm excited about them. I wish we had a head to head with them and May River. Even though in baseball one game
that'd
is
be great.
not really telling.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
it's like Hilton Head. I don't think is the team that showed up tonight. They're not going to make 5 errors and put 14 people on base every night. As you know, in baseball, sometimes it goes like that some nights, and it just snowballs, and you can't stop it. And so I think if they played a 7-game series, it's probably really close. Be really great.
I mean,
you could only make so much out of 1-game series, but I think Hilton Head will be okay. They get Colleton next week to open region play. That's as close as like a get right series as you get in this league. It's not really. They're still tough.
Especially
Varner's
with the pitching.
Varner's an animal, and they're not. It's no pushover, but it's one where you can have a little margin for error. And then they have a off week game against or a off night game against Berkeley, and then they have May River. And then they have Bluffton, and it gets pretty serious pretty fast. So I think they got to figure out some things as far as looking at what went down tonight, as far as where people play on defense stuff, and shore some stuff up.
Yeah, Hilton Head High just didn't look like the team we saw against Hampton County. They were just throwing errors left, right, and center.
Just kind of flat and unfocused.
I've
seen it before.
They just didn't look like themselves tonight. Yeah.
It's just baseball. I mean, sometimes you come out and it's just not there. You're flat from the start. You're a step slow, and you can just tell, oh, geez, it's going to be one of those nights. And unfortunately for them tonight, it's against HHCA, which is treating it like their World Series Game 7, trying to get that dub, And it's a perfect storm. It's kind of a lose-lose situation for the public school in those situations, but it's fun. I like when our teams engage in it and play each other, and we get to kind of compare.
It makes for exciting competition.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really cool for everybody involved, and hopefully these teams play more often in the future. Especially these island squads. They know each other, and these guys are friends off the field. They know each other really well.
Oh yeah, all of them. Bybee had a nice game. He was 2 for 4 tonight. Grady Charrington Dunton. Keep that name on your lips. I've been hearing about him for years. He was 2 for 4 with the double and RBI for Hilton Head. The walks were the big thing. Nobody with like a standout line for HHCA, like you mentioned. They kind of just took what the defense gave them, so to speak. But Roman Colella continues to swing it well. He had a double and a couple RBIs. Slade Bird he's really good, man. He's like Steele is the the headliner because he's going to Clemson and everything, but little brother is a baller. He's really solid at short. He went 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, walked twice, had an RBI. I love the way he plays, man. I love to watch that.
He's good. Play. Oh my, and he's quick on the bases too. He is fast on the bases. He's so good on the bases. Yeah, and the Bird
with him
brothers
and Brad at the top of the order, man. That's pretty dirty to be able to have those guys set.
And then you got Steele following them with in the third position.
Yeah.
So that top 3 that's deadly, extremely deadly. But I think
I do wish we got to see him against May River though, because May River looks solid tonight. They played Holy Innocents, which I think is from Pennsylvania. And has some
Christian
dudes.
Academy, Christian Academy's playing them tomorrow night. Holy Innocents. So
they're pretty solid. But May River looked good. Brazington started. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and then Hollywood. As our friend Mullis calls him, Logan Hargis went 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, 1 walk, and 3 Ks to finish it off. Nice. Really good effort from him. I've got the final out on video. I'll show you in a minute. Brazington also 2 for 4. Man, I love to watch that dude hit. One of the 2 was a routine ground ball to second. And he ran about the hardest 90 you'll ever see and beat it out. It was phenomenal. Joseph Schroeder was 1 for 2 with an RBI. Fergus Varley 1 for 2 with an RBI. He's swinging it good too. Sharks team's pretty solid. They're 2-2. Have played some people. I think they're poised to be in good shape. But man, that series next week with Bluffton. With Bluffton playing the way they're playing, just taking 2 from Buford. And you want to talk about they all know each other. They all grew up together. They all play travel ball together. Like all of them. Like it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be good. I'm excited for that.
So that's Monday at May River and then Wednesday at Bluffton. So I'll definitely be trying to check out some of that. Should be good. Let's see. Other scores from tonight on the Baseball Diamonds. Silver Bluff beat Hampton County 6-4. Good showing from the Canes, but came up short. And Patrick Henry beat Holy Trinity 7-3. I'll dig up some stats on that here in a little bit. I do have the final out from Hollywood Hargis that I was going to show you here. If I can find it. There it is. Producing on the fly. Hollywood Hargis. Like I said, I got to lacrosse and saw a little bit, and then it was halftime, and I didn't want to stand around in the cold for 10 minutes. So I walked over to baseball, watched that to the conclusion, and then went back to lacrosse. I'll give you a report on that here in a little bit. But we had a pretty good game. It was 5-3. They didn't have anybody on base, but I was told that guy up to bat was going to Duke. He looked the part. And Hargis got the job done. Wood. I love the celebration. Always good stuff. But nice W for them for tonight for sure. And Mo's had to sit it out. He's on some new medication. His heart was racing too much. I told him he's like Lou Brown in Major League 2. When he's in the hospital and he's like, I love this British. And then he's supposed to be watching the British dramas, but he's actually listening to the Indians in the baseball game. But so best wishes to Mullis that he gets things figured out.
Our Diamond Dudes started up.
Heck yeah, we got to get that. We got to get him, settled up in his rocking chair for some Lowco Diamond Dudes. But let's shout out some sponsors, and then we'll shift gears and talk about some other stuff that went down tonight in the Lowco. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports, they start with Megan Jarrett, my wife, and the official realtor of LowcoSports and the official, green light of LowcoSports. She's the one that lets us keep this thing going. So if you're looking to find a place in the Lowco, she'd love to help you put down an anchor in the best place. She's with the Anchor Home Group of Keller Williams of the Low Country. So if you're looking to get into the Lowco real estate market, remember Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections are the official home inspectors of LowcoSports. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the business in the Low Country. They're going to check that house out from top to bottom and make sure you're making a great investment. And if you're building a new home, you can't afford to do it without a phased inspection from Homegrown Home Inspections, official home inspectors of LowcoSports. Mickelson Law Firm is the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports, and our original sponsor since 2017. Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickle squad have been taking care of us, helping us keep us in the game, and they'll help you with all your legal needs down at Mickelson Law Firm. And Hospice Care, the Low Country official hospice provider of LowcoSports, only not-for-profit hospice care in southern Beaufort County, and they count on donations to keep it that way so that nobody has to come out of pocket for those important end-of-life care and all those other services they provide at Hospice Care, the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. Fellas, had all kinds of stuff going on tonight. As I mentioned, I got out to some lacrosse action. Actually, kind of cool. Took a selfie out there. You can peep it on the gram with Kieran McCardle, Premier Lacrosse League star of the Philadelphia Water Dogs, who also is Lowco resident and the head of the new Low Country Rush lacrosse program. He and his guy Billy, his right hand man Billy, were out there, and a couple of the other guys from Lowco Rush. So took a selfie with them. Yeah, you like that? Just had to document that. I mean, it's just cool. It's one of the cool things about living in this place. Like when I first got here, it blew my mind. I came from Kansas, and I'd go out to a game at Hilton Head Prep, like a basketball game or something, and it'd be like, oh, there's Steve Fuller, and there's like all these people, and it'd be like, oh yeah, Chris Gardocki's here, like he was like active punter for the Steelers, and I was just like, what is this magical place I've come to where like celebrities are just wandering about? Like Stan Smith is like in my phone, like, and he would respond to my text, like. It's just crazy. And so, you're out at a high school lacrosse game, and there's a Premier Lacrosse League all-star who just led the playoff tournament in scoring. It's like bananas. So I just had to document that, but and shout them out, because it's just really cool that we have that kind of level of commitment, to a local lacrosse program to try to get that sport to a new level in this area. But we had a good matchup on the boys' side. Hilton Head and May River, and it ended up a little lopsided. Hilton Head wins 17-8, but I got to tell you, it didn't feel that way. When I got there at half, or just before half, it was 9-5, and it looked like Hilton Head was kind of in control. But and then they got it up to 10-5 before at halftime, I believe. And I'll get some highlights rolling here. But then I ran over to baseball, and when I came back around, I thought it might be getting out of hand, but it was 13-8, and with like 7 minutes left, and I was like, all right, we might have a finish here. So I went in and watched it to the conclusion, and Hilton Head kind of asserted itself in the last few minutes, and definitely looked like the better team. But May River gave a scrappy effort tonight. I mean, they're young. And definitely you can tell there's some frustration with that as far as the coaching staff, knowing what they need to do, and it's just not communicating or not happening on the field, the execution not being there. But they were scrappy. I mean, they hung in, and I think Hilton Head's pretty tough. You've seen them a little bit, Wes, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Pretty tough. They've
Olander and Saba are really good. Thibodeau's
nice
tough.
Group of goal scorers.
And they run their offense. They're pretty disciplined.
Yeah.
And I got to see Rich Thomas. He was out on the sidelines keeping stats for the Seahawks, which is a blast from the past for me and maybe for you too, Wes. I think you may know him. He's been involved with lacrosse on the island since the start.
Wow.
And was big. His son Rhett, they had a basketball tournament in his memory He died from a rare cancer, and that Rhett Thomas Memorial Tournament was fantastic for a number of years and raised a lot of money for charity. So it was great to see him, reconnect with him, and see that he's still involved with the sport and still connected, to the local teams.
Yeah, especially cool when you do this for those events for a good cause, and great to see him continue to make an impact on sports at large in the Low Country. And great battle tonight. This Hilton Head team has really proved a lot by their consistent play. As you said, they run their offense well, they pass the ball well, and they just kind of know where everyone needs to be at a certain point in the game, and find ways to get some good looks in the net. And they pass well. They don't make too many mistakes out there, and that's a team that's going to give you a tough game no matter who they go up against, and it's going to be one to look out for. It's just really cool to see the growth and all these teams getting better at the same time, and just continuing to grow the iron sharpens iron mentality, and to see the continued level of play elevate. And that's something we've talked about a bit, and just to see these these big lacrosse names make appearances in here, it just raises the level of the sport even more and provides a nice example. And I remember when I was in high school, I don't think those big lacrosse leagues didn't exist. You just had the college level.
Yeah,
but you didn't have now these
right.
full-fledged leagues.
It's definitely scaling up, as you would say.
You gotta think the Olympics is next, right?
That dude's got a freaking cannon, by the way.
I'm just talking
and
about.
Shout out to the keeper. Shout out to the keeper, who I believe is Tyler Bennett. He was solid tonight. May River had some looks late that he shut it down. He wasn't letting them back in it. But yeah, that dude, 21. His name is that's Seba. Holy cow, he can let it rip.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow, all right.
It's unreal. Unofficial stats, sort of, because Rich was looking at his notes and giving him rough numbers. Olander, he thought, had 5 or 6 goals. Seba had 4 goals and 5 assists at his quick count. So, they're a really solid 1-2 punch, and Thibodeau is really solid as well. So they've got some weapons, and I heard them instructing a lot to not force it. Don't force it. Don't force it. Don't force it. They want them to be patient and run the offense and wait for the right opportunity. So I think that's something they're kind of still working on, but it looks like a team that's got the talent to definitely do some damage. I haven't seen the girls score yet from lacrosse. It was the same matchup. West must have had a allergy attack. There it is. Hilton Head girls win big, 21-3.
Wow! Holy moly!
Yeah, I mean, May River, I think, is struggling a little bit right now. Although they did beat Beaufort last night. So we've got a haves and have-nots situation happening in girls lacrosse. It's kind of like what we had in girls basketball. Similar. There we go. Yeah. Welcome back, Wes. We got a similar situation, I think, happening in girls lacrosse to girls basketball.
You got a couple of strong teams, and then the rest
some programs that are just barely hanging on. Barely fielding the program, and it's hard to see. But that's why we need something like Low Country Rush to start to build a feeder program that produces some depth, so you don't have schools dropping off the radar. I also wonder if we have some rezoning coming in Bluffton, because we're starting to see, and you can't foresee this when land's developed and who's going to move there and what sports they're going to play and stuff. But we're seeing some real disparity as far as numbers go in certain sports. And, I don't know if that can be corrected through zoning or not. But for example, in baseball, Bluffton's having to pull every kid they can get to come up from the middle school that's zoned for Bluffton, just so they can have like a fully staffed JV team. Whereas May River's, carrying deep rosters and having to cut people still. Yeah. And I don't know that there's an easy fix for those kinds of things, but I do wonder if it's something that can be talked about on a redistricting level, where you could maybe just kind of redraw the lines in a way that reappropriates some of that. But
Yeah,
then you'd have people trying to school choice, and like, I mean, programs get a reputation, coaches get a reputation, and people want to play for a certain coach, and they move into that district intentionally. So then for you to draw them out of that district is kind of wild too. So, I don't think there's an easy answer, but it's something that's been on my mind. And it looks like it's happened with lacrosse too, where, especially boys lacrosse, it seems like the talent has sort of been centered around May River. But, one sort of transformational coach hire can change that overnight, so to speak, too, and have the tide going in the other direction. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking out loud, but I think it's sort of a worthy topic to consider. Any thoughts? Sorry, I got on a rant.
No.
I think like if they do rezone, I have a feeling it'll be the next couple of years or so.
Well, I guess the elephant in the room. I guess the elephant in the room too is the third high school, right? The third Bluffton High School, because I think that's eminent. I think an Okatee High School is like irrelevant, or not irrelevant, but is eminent. That's not the word I was looking for. I was looking for another word, and I couldn't find it. It's been a long day, y'all. I had to start again with 5th grade career fair at 7:45 today. So
that's going to be me tomorrow. The long day for me is tomorrow, because I got just stuff going all day. And then we got I got doubleheader baseball got moved. Supposed to be one game, then we got to weather that pushed it forward, so we got to doubleheader for baseball tomorrow. And
doubleheader of spring. Yeah. So. Well, speaking of which, you guys were out at USCB today, out in the Ville, and Sand Sharks sweep, as we sort of predicted. We thought they would have the upper hand today. 2 very different games. Sierra Kinlaw locked it down in game 1, and then the Sharks got the bats going in game 2. So tell me about it, broadcast duo.
Yeah, as you said, the 2 very different ball games, but 2 excellent Sand Shark wins. And Sierra Kinlaw, as you mentioned, providing the strength for this team in that first game. They win it 2-0, and defensive struggle. And as we talked about on the broadcast, excellent defense from USCB. Both the infield making some solid plays, and that was something we were hoping that we'd see improve, and it really did to start off the doubleheader, and just really sound defensive play, and then opportunistic play offensively to get a couple of runs. Chloe Turner was really the breakout star in that first game. Had a key hit, and Jaden Goodwin with the RBI as well. Had an excellent day in game 2. She drove in 4 runs, so it was great to see Goodwin get going, and then Chloe Turner stepping in tremendous at second base, and then Sierra Kinlaw to lock it down with a complete game shutout. 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed, and she was excellent. Scattered a couple of knocks to especially Addison, and who pitched, and also was the cleanup hitter for Lisa McRae. But not much else going on for the Bobcats. Sierra Kinlaw doing her thing, and just making it very difficult for Lisa McRae to be able to string base runners and runs together. So, and then the second game, it was a breakout performance from the offense as a whole. I mean, they scored 8 runs in that first inning, including a double from Jaden Goodwin, Darren Miller contributing, including before that, though, 2-out rally just from walks. There are 4 walks in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, that is impressive stuff from this USCB group of hitters. It was Ford, Turner, Coleman, and Whitlock all walked in a row. So 4 straight base on balls, but then Goodwin brought 2 of them home, and then Miller drove in 2 more, ended up becoming an 8-run inning for USCB. But how about Mackenzie Ford with a monstrous 3-run homer to finish it off?
And then
Addie Reynolds continuing her outstanding play this last week, reading Peach
another
Belt
homer.
Conference, and another homer for her.
She had another
homer.
Yeah.
She had another
Peach Belt
homer.
Conference.
It's 4 homers in less than a week. That's insane. She's the hot streak she's on. It's not even hot. It's like hellfire.
I mean, I already hit her with the Alicia Keys gif
like,
on Twitter last weekend with that. This catcher's on fire.
Yeah, it's like the NBA Jam when you get on fire, you hit a couple of shots and then the rim gets on fire.
I'm trying to find more on this. Our friend,
she's sizzling.
Yeah,
Coach Rose, William Rose, former coach at Bluffton, now full-time softball dad, college softball dad to Alyssa at USCB. I can't get the Game Changer to load, but apparently Bluffton softball won tonight. I don't know who they played, but they won 14-6 against somebody. And he says, when you have 3 hitters combined 14 for 14, and you're not including Reagan Kelly or Ava Rogers, you must feel really good about yourself. Hitting clinic tonight. Wow. So that is my Game Changers.
Awesome.
Sticking though. Can't get it to
load. I'm keeping my eye on those Patrick Henry Patriots, 14-7 over Bridges Prep.
Yeah, the softball team, but they had to score 7 in the 6th. It was a wild game. It was 7-7. They scored 7 in the 6th.
Wow.
Poor girl for Bridges Prep threw 149 pitches per game changer.
Goodness.
Wow. I mean, it's softball, so it's different, but still, man, that's my arms.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Just thinking about that. I'm an old person. Yeah. But yeah, and then Buford took it on the chin tonight, 11-3 in softball, in favor of Stratford. I haven't gotten around to looking at the stats again, man. It's been a long day of running all over the place, but a fun day, a very fun day. I love being out at sporting events, especially in the spring. It's feels good.
There's so much variety.
Sneezing later, right, Wes?
That's the one downside.
Are bad, bro.
Yeah, they gave up 5 in the first.
You had, I think you had Javon tweet us during the lowdown. Speaking of Javon, me and him are doing 2 games tomorrow at Bluffton High School. Yeah, there it is.
He eyeballed us. He let us know he's watching.
Javon. Yeah, me and Javon got 2 games tomorrow at Bluffton High School. Bluffton and Beaufort High School are playing McIntosh County out of I think Tennessee. So, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And then for some reason, I guess it's because we're expecting rain Saturday. We got that doubleheader at USCB. For baseball against Georgia College. They have a doubleheader on Friday. They have Saturday off, and then they have a game at like 1:00 on Sunday. So long weekend ahead for me and Wes. I'm excited, but so they were supposed to have a doubleheader on Saturday. They were supposed to have a doubleheader on Saturday, I think, right? Or were they supposed to have a game Friday, game Saturday, and game
Friday,
Sunday?
Saturday, Sunday. It was supposed to be a normal week.
I confirm my suspicion that this is not a Tennessee team. It's McIntosh County Academy.
Is it Georgia?
Out of Darien. Georgia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they put Tennessee down on Game Changer for some reason.
Huh.
I must have been seeing something. I don't know.
They got it on the wrong team because McIntosh Academy has it on their Max Prep schedule. McIntosh County Academy out of Darien.
I am so sorry.
There we go.
I'm sorry, McIntosh County.
No, I just had to look into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw Tennessee
schedule leak from Javon. You heard it here first. Hilton Head Christian versus Buford High next week.
Didn't post it yet. I thought it said don't post it yet. I was like, it's a bit late for that. Is that Bluffton High School? Oh no, it's Buford High School.
Buford High.
It's Buford because they have 2 games against Buford, I think. That should be interesting.
13th and 14th. Little home and home. That's a fun little home and home. Yeah. So that means
I like that.
Yeah. Wait. Next week you got Bluffton and May River Monday and Wednesday. You got HHCA Buford Wednesday, Thursday. Like good little baseball schedule next week.
I like that. It's good. I like that home and home thing. I do like that. I wish they could. We were talking about how we would love to see May River play Hilton Head Christian. I feel like a little home and home series would be great. I think that would be fantastic.
I think currently
awesome.
that's a non-starter between those two programs right now. Just like philosophically, they're just like, nah. May River's like, nah, we don't do that. Like, we don't need to. I mean, it's a lose-lose for the public school, really. There's not much to be gained from it, and there's always some, whether it's founded or not, the public schools are always a little wary of the recruiting aspect of it, especially going to play at the Skeeza school, and like it's an opportunity to showcase your facilities, like thing. Coaches are just wary of that, some more than others, and it is what it is. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it. Like, do what you do and let it stand for itself, but just some are not about it, and that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
So you gotta do what's right for your program, and certainly, I mean, I don't know, you saw what happened to Hilton Head tonight. Like, it's a fun little series, but it sucks when you lose if you're the public school. It's a tough
but
situation.
they haven't lost to
I know.
Christian, I mean, like 6 years.
I know, but then that's the thing is you lose to them once in
lose.
6 years, and it's a big story, and it's like,
yeah, that's true.
Like,
but I mean, with the team as good as Christian Academy, it was going to be a close. You would think it would have been a close game anyway. So
I mean, I think I mostly come down on the side personally of like, just play them, play everybody.
Yeah, let them play.
But I also understand the perspective of a coach who's like, no, we're just not going to mess with all that.
The politics, it's the politics behind it. It is. It always is. So
and sometimes it's as minor as like one kid transferred there, and you're just like, you know what, we're just not gonna invite that anymore.
That's part of. I think that was part. Well, I think that was part of why Bluffton High School didn't schedule with Christian Academy this year, is because Cody Pratt came over to.
I mean, it's a real thing, right? And everybody sees that.
That was part of it. Yeah.
And
so they they're like, nah, we're good. We're good.
It's kind of like throwing the brushback pitch after the guy pitched the home run. Like, everybody's playing the game. And Bridges Prep got frozen out by the public schools in a lot of sports. As part of the like kind of statewide effort to kind of force action on the multiplier, and there's collateral damage to that stuff, and it kind of, we don't often talk about it out in the open, but I think it's okay that we do. Like, we all know it's happening, and it's part of it, and it's right or wrong. It's just kind of, there are political machinations and things involved in this. The legislature is talking about trying to take over high school sports and take it away from the high school league, and which is a wild idea to me, but I don't advise that at all. But like, that's the reality, is that like politics can't entirely be separated from sports. It's all intertwined, and sometimes you got to play the game a little bit. And if it's not beneficial to your program, first and foremost, you're the steward of that program, and you got to set it up what's best for you. You can't worry about whether we would like to see you play each other or not. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But it's fun when they do, and we love to talk about it, and we'd love to be there and see somebody win. That's the cool part about it for us. But we get plenty of it in the region stuff, but it all gets a little stale, and it's fun to have some new matchups and stuff. But anyway, we should shout out some sponsors and then talk about some other stuff. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports: DDS Web Design designs, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits. They get results. So if you need to get your website found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS Web Design at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Jasper, and Hampton counties, and even beyond. Been doing that for years, and if you have legal needs, you can call on them as we called on them, and they supported us, helping us continue to expand on our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, man. Mind, body, and spirit. He's just a good dude, has great energy, and a terrific chiropractor. He even made my wife, the official realtor of LowcoSports, a believer in chiropractic care after my many years of trying to convince her. So go see Dr. Ambrose Cole at Rooted Living Wellness, and Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsors of Lowco Grind, our wrestling podcast. Love doing that this year. That was great fun. Had George Dixon in there with me as my co-host, and Wes, you did a terrific job producing it and helping us take it to the next level. So that was really fun. Speaking of wrestling, and speaking of my stint at the 5th grade career fair, where I was definitely trying to recruit wrestlers. Every kid who said they do jujitsu, I'm like, you got to do wrestling in middle school. But how much you weigh? But also, it was 2 wrestling things happened. First, a little girl I know, Mila Perez, who just won a state championship, girls state championship in youth wrestling.
Nice.
5th grader, so she's 10 and under, I believe. She's a little stud. I accidentally embarrassed her by pointing that out to her classmates that, hey, do you guys know we got a state champ wrestler here? Little boy said he was incredulous that could be true. And I said, dude, you have no idea. She would rip through you like wet Kleenex, bro. Like, you would be on the ground in 2.2 seconds. I've seen this girl wrestle. She's incredible. And then the other one, you'll love this, Wes. Little girl said, wait, do you talk about wrestling too? And I said, yeah. In fact, we have a podcast just for wrestling called the Lowco Grind. And she goes, I think you talked to my sister. It was Michaela Henschey's little sister. So I let everybody know that her sister was a national champion, 14 national champion. I saw recently that Michaela received her Team USA singlet for the USA like Olympic ladder rankings. She's ranked 2nd in the Olympic rankings for her weight and age group. So she's on that path. She's on the path to be an Olympian. You know, like CJ Cummings. Made it there from Beaufort, and he's trying to get back in weightlifting. Just so cool to me when somebody from our midst like is literally like makes it on an international world stage. So definitely keeping tabs on her because she's on that path. It's still a long way from here to there, but she's on that path.
Actually, you mentioned that. What did I see the other day? A good friend of mine, former cross country runner for Hilton Head High School. Cross country runner for Air Force Academy, Sam Gilman. He's going for the Olympics, this next Olympics, from what I've been told. His dad and my dad are great friends. I've known Sam from our baseball playing days. We've been great friends. We were classmates as well. I heard he will be attempting to go for the Olympics this year. I'm not sure if he's doing long distance or he's doing like track and field this year. I'm not sure what he's doing, what he's going for, but I was told he's going towards the Olympics this year too. So it's great to see local talent making it at the international stage. I think that's just awesome.
That's a great call on Sam Gilman, because that had it came across my radar, and then and I knew that he had done something big recently. And
because he's doing time.
We got to get my friend. Got to get my guy Blake Bishop on here sometime to update us on all the track and field stars.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. For sure. It's been a busy start to the track season, but man, there's been so many Gilman.
I do know. Here's something I did find. Sam he finished 7th in the 3,000 meters at USA Track and Field Indoors Nationals. That's a couple weeks ago.
Really good. That's
good.
Good.
So that probably qualified him for some kind of Olympic trials or something.
I think he's going for the Olympic trials. I think that's what he's going for. At least his dad told me that. So
we'll have to track him down and get him in here. You got the contacts. You'll have to get us a guest.
I'll see if I can get him on. It'd be difficult because he's a busy dude. Because not only does he do track and field stuff, but he also is in the Air Force as well.
Right.
So he's doing both of that at the same time, which is that's insane to me.
Yeah.
To be doing military and going for the Olympics at the same time. I mean that's insane. So
I mean,
I
you got to
will.
stay
I
in
will
shape
do.
when you're in the Air Force. So you
Yeah.
that's half the battle.
Well, I mean, he was
Okay.
what was he? He was like a 2 or 3 time All-American at the Air
Yeah.
Force Academy. So I mean,
He was the Mountain
dude's an
West.
insane runner.
He was the Mountain West Conference Male Athlete of the Year.
Of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
Like,
ridiculous. He's
incredible.
Yeah. We haven't done
incredible.
him justice. It's kind of out of my sphere, out of my radar. Like I don't follow like national college track and field news. But I see him pop up every now and then, and we haven't really probably done justice to all of his accomplishments after high school because he's been just phenomenal. But we should definitely try to catch up with him sometime.
I will try my best to get him on. It would be difficult, but I will try. I would
Especially
definitely try to get him on because I think it'd be fun.
when there's more time to go open-ended and dive deeper into extended interviews and such. But that's
for sure.
Something that we'd love to really get to be a part of is just to look up some former Lowco studs who are doing it at the college level and beyond, and who are doing big things, whatever they're doing now, and especially those are continuing to aspire for professional or big things in their sports. So it's definitely something we'd love to do in the future, and to get to guys like Sam on, because I ran with Ben Gilman, who is another one of those Gilman brothers, and then there's
Ben,
female sibling as
he
well.
Was phenomenal too. Yeah,
I can't think of
Reagan.
Those two together
Reagan.
were Reagan's done well too, and then her younger brother Josiah, he's coming up as well through the ranks as well now.
Man.
So
that
family, man.
There's always another one, man. There's always another one. They can all run
I think
for
Josiah.
days.
Well, I hope. I hope Josiah's the last one. But
he's the last.
Yeah, I mean that family, man. They brought out some runners, man. Let me tell you, it's nuts. I remember.
By the time Josiah gets through, though, Ben and Sam will be having kids. So
I know. Oh yeah.
We should have some little David Adams progeny coming through pretty soon. He's got kids that are growing up. So, we're gonna start to. I'm not joking, y'all. We're gonna start to see some generational talent from people that who they are. Their kids are gonna start coming up, and you'll be like, "Whoa, that's his kid," and he looks just like him. Like it's kind of crazy. People are out there coaching. A bunch of guys you remember, dudes you remember, out there coaching their kids, and women you remember as well, out there coaching their kids up and trying to make them better than they were. And that's the magic sauce right there. So
that scares me a bit, but
it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But Coach J Dub, he's got a kid coming up too. Like, it's gonna be a blast. A couple other things going on tonight. Boys tennis, Hilton Head bounced back after losing to James Island. They beat May River 6-0. Leo Nedkov, Grant Pagat-Patan, Henry Boatwright, Jake Huggins, and Vince Bellino with singles wins, and then Sammy Hindy and Nathan Jarrell with the doubles win. They're challenging me with the names this season. Golf match out at Hilton Head Lakes. Our buddy Brady Sacha, LowcoSports contributor and Bobcat golfer, sent me the scores. Beaufort gets the dub by one shot over May River, 161-162.
Wow.
Bluffton with 165. And I saw that May River had a player DQ'd, and he was posted as 37 and then DQ'd. So that ended up costing them 6 shots on their team score, so they would have won.
Yeah.
That's one of those things about golf. I don't know what happened. Probably signed an incorrect scorecard. And
we've seen that at the professional level too recently. There was some incident.
It happens.
It happens
every now and then.
Issue with the scorecard.
Every now and then. But Simon McAllister, medalist honors with a 33, scorching. Landry Williams from May River with a 35, but James Denton 40. Brady Sacha tied for 4th with a 41.
Outstanding.
So good stuff.
Let's go Brady.
Let's go Satchmo. He's been working on it, man. He's played a lot of golf. He's been putting in a lot of work on his game. And also in his photography. He's a heck of a photographer. Looking forward to working with him more, especially on Bluffton football next year. He gets hyped up for Bluffton football. He gives us some great reports. So we got to get him on the show after the games, though, instead of him just going to Buffalo Wild Wings party with the boys. We got to get him to come on the show. Maybe he can start doing a live spot sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings.
There you go.
The Bobcat post game report and get all the boys in there on the shot
That
with
would be
them.
If we can get a
to
deal
work
with
on that for
Buffalo
the
Wild
fall.
Wings,
that could be epic.
that would be dangerous if we got a deal with Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
Hey,
a
somebody
sponsorship.
bring it to us. We'll kick you a finder's fee. I don't have time to go figure out who I need to talk to, but somebody set it up, and we'll get you a finder's fee for your kid's organization or whatever. And
A live
make it happen.
LowcoSports Lowdown live at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, I'm about that live. Hey, we did one. We did the
Hurricanes for
Lowco Pigskin preview live from Hurricane Sports Cafe.
Also,
we are
Nice.
barbershop.
Ooh.
Yep.
we are up for it, brother. It was good times. We had
fun.
One Time and G Daddy up on the stage.
That was amazing.
We
That's
had
cool.
Debbie Terry Hires up on the stage. We had it was a rip roaring time. Jarrett was there. He got up there and talked about Patrick Henry football and told us all about he's going to take us on a hog hunt. Showed us pictures of some big prehistoric hogs. You can come with me. I'll put you on a camera. I'm a bit Mad Max. We'll take you out in the woods and let some rednecks kill hogs.
Sounds like fun to me. I want to do that. I want to do the live thing now. That sounds like so much fun. I want to do it now.
It was a blast. It was a
I'm
blast.
looking forward to it.
It was
I'm
a
looking
blast.
forward to doing something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of Patrick Henry, good night on the farm. Baseball won 7-3 against Holy Trinity.
Yeah, good win.
Softball won 14-7 against Bridges Prep, and soccer beat Carlton Prep 4-3. So
good day for Patrick Henry.
Night.
Yeah.
Good night to be on the farm.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna look at that baseball game and look at the stats because I know that Peoples pitched a yeoman's effort. So I got to shout out some guys. Unless, with Game Changer, you never know. Sometimes the other team misses a pitching change. But it looks like Peoples went the distance and threw 126 pitches, which that seems beyond the rules.
Unreal.
So I think that's actually against the rules in high school baseball now. So I think they might have missed a pitching change.
Because before that rule, there would be arms that are destroyed from doing.
Oh yeah, I won't name any names tonight, but I once saw a kid throw 165 in high school.
Yeah, that's
and I had to write about it, and I had to have a conversation with the coach about it, and it was what it was. But it's in the past.
Yeah, that's way too much. Yeah,
all right.
But anyway, we won't go there.
I've since seen equally as egregious things done to 9-year-olds. So it's an epidemic.
Find that extremely.
And if if I was going to get on my soapbox, I would say if your kid's playing youth baseball and your coach doesn't abide by USA Pitch Smart guidelines, then you should look for a different baseball team.
Yep. 100%.
Period. Full stop.
Yeah,
because I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it at that age. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely not. There's a point where you say no, absolutely not.
Yeah, you just have to. And when I was starting a travel team as a 8U team, we got to 9, and I was like, okay, the boys start pitching now. Here's the deal. I've interviewed Dr. James Andrews face to face about UCL injuries and overuse injuries in baseball, and written, award-winning journalism about it. And I interviewed Ray Tanner face to face about it. And here's what I'm going to tell you: we're following them guidelines. Period. It's out of my hands. We're not going to fudge from it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to win a game. Everybody's going to have to pitch, and that's the way it's got to be.
You
can't have middle school age kids throwing 100.
You got a long career ahead of you. You can't affect that growth process and put a guy out there.
You shouldn't throw 160 pitches in high school, let alone middle school.
No,
that's no. I haven't seen anybody throw that many in middle school, but I did see.
I did see a
10-year-old.
The development's more important.
110.
Yeah. There are more important
Sick
things.
to my stomach.
There are
Like,
more
made me
important
sick to
things
my
than winning a
stomach.
baseball game at
Like,
that
yeah,
level.
and you shouldn't throw that many pitches even in like the high school level, because that's just. I think after 110 pitches, that's where you kind of draw the line there. Because I mean, like 100, like if you're pitching a good enough, if you're pitching a no hitter or a good enough game for a perfect game or something like outrageous like that, fine, 110 pitches and then you're done, because at that point you're gonna start damaging your arm. That's what I've been taught.
Well, you at least have the potential to. I
Yes.
mean, that's the thing is like, did guys used to throw more pitches than that? Sure, yeah, they did.
The most pitches I ever threw in a game was 112,
and a lot of
that's
them
the
were
most I've ever
okay.
thrown in a game.
Nolan Ryan
Yeah.
could do it,
Right.
but like he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
But how many thousands of kids didn't even make it to high school or college baseball who might have been Nolan Ryan, but they literally threw out their arms.
Yeah, they threw out their arms.
And and we don't know about them. There's no data. Like, I mean, there is, but there isn't. It's not like you can't really point
it's
to
not
like,
as accessible
this kid.
when you're talking about something that happened 20, 30 years ago. It's just
because there's no like plot on the data point for like this guy would have been this. Like we can't know how many of them would have been big league pitchers if they had been handled correctly. But you got to figure some percentage of them might have been. If their arm had held up. So I don't know, man. It's there's a lot of people way smarter than me who know a lot more about the physiology of it, and they all got together and said this is the best plan. For me to think I know better than them is just asinine. Like for anyone to think, nah, I knew a guy and he threw a lot more pitches and he was okay. Like, no, these are the smartest people on the subject in the world, and they've come up with the best practices, and they constantly reevaluate them using the scientific method, and like just trust them. Like, I mean, to the extent that like the guidelines are there for a reason. That's where I fall on it. Obviously, everyone has an opinion. Like, I'm just one person, but that's kind of where I fall on it.
Yeah.
I just seen too many people when you start to blur the lines. Where do you redraw it? And it's like, well, just let him have one more. Oh, well, he gave up a tough luck single, but he's still looking good. Just let him have one more. It's like, where do you draw the line? And so I just think you take a rigid guideline like that and you apply it, then that's where you draw the line. That's why they're called guidelines. They're telling you where to draw the line. So that's it for me. Another soapbox. Apparently, when I'm tired, I just go on soapbox rants because
I think we're all tired at this point.
I'm wiped.
We're all exhausted at this point, man.
I'm wiped out. But the Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court, are with Charter One Realty, and they are Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Court Lifestyle Pros, Revive, Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Dr. Ali and Dr. Jen are the best in the biz when it comes to postpartum care. So if you have a friend who's having a baby, get them a gift card to go see the docs at Revive Rehab. Eagle Creations, great place for promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets. They've got a great showroom over on Argent Boulevard where you can go check out everything they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Great place for conversation, and you'll come out looking stylish, and you can go get some tacos on your way out. Downtown Ridgeland, place to be, Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, Chris Odom is the man, and he will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. And we thank all the Lowco Booster Club members for their support making all this possible. Fellas, let's do some shout outs and look ahead to what we're doing tomorrow on Friday in the Lowco. Your alarm goes off at 2 a.m. Oh, hell no.
No.
I'm just settling into bed by then.
Nah, dude, Javon, man. Nah. A hard pass.
That's the hardest working man in the Lowco right there.
My fam's out of town. I'm literally at the house by myself this weekend. I am sleeping in Javon. Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Party at Max's
Come on
house.
down. Come on down, everybody. Come on down.
Loco insiders only. You got to, there's a cover charge. But no, fellas,
$5
who
for
we shouting out
parking.
tonight? Who we shouting out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta pick Sierra Kinlaw for she was dealing over there for USCB and dominant in control. I mean, just so consistent the way that she performs out there, and just doesn't give you many opportunities to beat you. And just dialed in once again today to go for a complete game shutout. So I got to give her some love, along with Jaden Goodwin. Jaden Goodwin, 4 RBI afternoon. There's a couple other players in that lineup you could shout as well. It was all around a terrific day offensively in that second game, but lots of shouts to go along for USCB softball. And then go to the golf course to finish off my shout outs and choose the individual medalist, Simon McAllister from Buford, and also propelling Buford to the team title with a 33-3 into par over there at Hilton Head Lakes. Congratulations to Simon and this Buford High team. Always a consistently strong golf program, looking like they'll be excellent again this spring. So, my 2 shout outs.
Very good. Max,
What do you got, Max?
Who you got, buddy? Who you shouting out?
My first is Addie Reynolds keeping the hot streak going today.
Yeah.
She played great behind the plate, and she played great at the plate, batting for the USCB Sand Sharks in the second of that 2-game set. The other person I have, James Crosby for Hilton Head Christian Academy. He pitched a great game tonight. Not huge numbers or anything, but he was able to hold in his time pitching for the Eagles. He was able to hold the Seahawks to just 2 runs, and we're talking about a team that scored 17 runs on Hampton County. So to be able so I'm going to give that one to the lefty James Crosby. Great game tonight, and Addie Reynolds. Those are my shout outs.
Solid choices. No, that for as bad as their defense was tonight, it was. There ain't no other way to put it. They were rough on defense. That's a really good lineup that Hilton Head has, and Crosby was really solid. Javon wants to know if the shout out has to be from today. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes we go back a day and shout it out. You can definitely pop one in there. If you got one.
I love Javon chirping in here, dude.
Yeah, we should have sent him the link, I guess. He wants to come in and get some shout outs.
Should have had him join us.
He's probably going to shout out somebody from May River lacrosse from last night, I bet.
Probably, yeah.
I shout out Javon for calling that lacrosse game last night. I would feel like a fish out of water trying to call a lacrosse game, man. That's out of my wheelhouse.
That's out of my wheelhouse.
I would feel like
I've done my fair share. I've done a bunch of women's lacrosse at the college level, and girls lacrosse. And
I mean, I'd be fine when they were like passing it around, and I could say passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite and all that stuff. But like when they start calling penalties and stuff, I'd be like, I have no clue what's going on right now.
No, definitely had to study up and read some of the rules about the free positions and some of the different calls that they make out on the field.
I love Javon last night. Shout out here, Javon. The girl was getting ready for the free shot, when they get the like restart in girls lacrosse, and she was cradling back and forth and a repetitive motion, and Javon goes, I feel like it's like the load screen on a RPG, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Like when you're picking your fighter and they're like standing there rotating. That's exactly what it looked like. And then the whistle blows and she just slings it in, and they have like no hope.
That's fantastic.
It's one of the more fun elements of girls lacrosse is when they do that penalty shot thing, and it's very defenseless. And it's kind of fun to watch the chaos that ensues from it. But anyway, I was going to do some shout outs. I got to shout out Brady Saba for that Hilton Head lacrosse team. Like I said, we saw that highlighted earlier. That dude has a wicked sling or whatever they call it. I don't know, man. He can throw it. And he's really, I've been impressed with him every time I've seen him play. they've got some real skill on that team. I'm excited to see, how they can compete with some of the stronger teams in the state, especially outside this area. We're still getting there in lacrosse. Again, Loco Rush is really going to help lift things up, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to get us to another level. And then, I want to go circle back around and shout out Hollywood again from May River. He
Yeah.
really pitched tough tonight. I want to see. I want to see what happened with. Hollywood was really good tonight. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no unearned, 1 walk, 3 strikes. That's Logan Hargis, aka Hollywood or Wood. But I want to see what happens with that team in HHCA, Holy Innocents, because I suspect that's a pretty good lineup. And Brazington, they got to Brazington for a couple early, and he's pretty tough. And then Hargis really shut him down. So, I think that's one of those that we'll look back and be like, holy cow, that was like really impressive what he did coming out of the pen there. So I wanted to give him love tonight. Javon was going to shout out Rast on Monday. Rast is, we shouted the heck out of her.
I did, yeah.
No hitter. We shouted the heck out of her. And he says Jake Ridgway was a stud for Bluffton boys lacrosse tonight. I didn't realize you had that, man. Well, we would have checked out some highlights from it.
We did for basketball. We did for basketball. Let's do it for spring sports.
Yeah. I didn't realize he had
on the show, my man.
We'll get him in. Well, I got to send him the link. That's all I got to do. I'll hit him next time. I'll hit him next time. I got to be more on top of what he's got going on. I was running from place to place tonight, so I wasn't really on top of.
If he's not super busy tomorrow night after the 2 games at Bluffton, I could definitely have him come on.
He knows where to find me when he wants the link. But speaking of tomorrow, where we heading tomorrow?
I'm gonna be at the park all day. We got the doubleheader USCB facing off against Georgia College. Trying to build on that historic win over number 16 Georgia Southwestern. So
what time are they playing now?
3:00 first pitch in game 1, and then game 2 around 6:30 or so. Whenever the first game finishes. So yeah.
I might have to check out a little bit of that tomorrow afternoon. You guys are both on the call. We got
just myself.
I am. It's just him because I am.
You have to work for a living.
Yeah, now I will be in Bluffton at Bluffton High School.
Tomorrow. Right, for the baseball with Javon.
For McIntosh. Yeah, I wondered why I was thinking Tennessee. Javon texted me with McIntosh, Tennessee. Come on, Javon. Anyway, I have 2 games, Bluffton versus McIntosh and Buford versus McIntosh with Javon on Buford's own. So I'm excited for those 2 games. And then hopefully I'll be able to join back up with Wes on Sunday to do the final game of the USCB Sand Sharks game. So against Georgia College, which I think if we should talk, I think it's going to be a good series between Georgia College and USCB. I think it's going to be a very competitive series. So I'm looking forward to the first 2 games tomorrow. I'll be keeping
to get game 1.
Yeah, they definitely need to.
Yep.
Really important.
Patterson up there.
Yes, you do need to, but
to go with in the
first I know they didn't last weekend, but like getting game 1 matters. It's big.
Yeah, unless you take 2 and 3.
But
you can't expect to do that very often. All the time.
You never know. But especially in a doubleheader though, I want to get game 1.
Because that was 3. That was
and we got a split secured. Yeah. It's hard to really expect more than a split out of a doubleheader. If you can just get a split. And then we got a shot to win tomorrow, But if you get game 1, then you still got a shot at getting the sweep, So I don't know. I like first pitch strikes too. Just philosophically, I like to get ahead. But I've got some good stuff on tap tomorrow night. You got May River Hilton Head Soccer. Maybe we can get our friend Connor Worrell out to check out some soccer.
The one downside is I get to miss the soccer. I love calling the baseball, but wish you could be in more places at once.
We need to clone ourselves. That's why we need more reporters. Connor definitely needs to get out and check out some soccer tomorrow night because we got some good ones. JP2 of Buford boys is pretty good too. got Hilton Head May River at May River boys, which is also great. Got boys lacrosse, Hilton Head Christian and Bishop England. See if the HHCA boys can knock off a powerhouse. Probably not, but credit to them for taking on the big dogs. Baseball, you got a good rivalry. Carleton Prep at the farm against Patrick Henry. That's why they rode Peoples tonight, because they're saving arms for the Warhawks tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got that doubleheader, Bluffton and Beaufort taking on McIntosh County Academy over in Bluffton. Great ballpark in Bluffton too. I like that they're doing
It is a
that.
great ballpark.
More of that. We need a tournament in there, more tournaments in there or something. That's fun. Holy Innocents at Hilton Head Christian. That's a fun matchup. JP2 at Battery Creek. That one got rescheduled from Wednesday. Softball, you got Carleton Prep at Patrick Henry, Hampton County at Whale Branch, Bluffton and Beaufort. Battery, that's fun. Bluffton and Beaufort softball. Battery Creek at Hilton Head, Carleton County at Barnwell. And then Cross Holy Trinity boys tennis. I know everybody's sitting on jump for that one. And of course the baseball doubleheader out in the Ville, USCB against Georgia College. So fun day on tap for sure. I gotta get my bearings and figure out where I'm going. I might check out some soccer. I might have to go see Misa's boys against Hilton Head, unless Connor's heading that way. But I'd love to get Connor to that May River Hilton Head girls game. That should be a good one.
That should be
a
good one.
Been fun tonight, boys. As always, great to have you along for the ride, Mad Max. And
yes,
congrats
sir.
to your Eagles for breaking the skid. Against the Seahawks. Yeah, enjoy it.
I'm enjoying
proud
it.
Proud alum. See, I'm not an alum of any of the schools. You guys are both unabashed homers.
Yeah, well, you beat my alum. I'm a Hilton Head alum, so not too happy about that.
Notice I didn't bring that up. I wasn't rubbing it in. I was just giving Max a moment. I don't do that. I don't do that. It pisses me off when my teams lose.
I don't feel that way much anyway. I
wore my Bobcat.
I'll root for Hilton Head.
You know what? I'm used to it. So at this point, I'm used to it, having either Hilton Head beat me or being an Atlanta Falcons fan. So I'm kind of used to it at this point.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I went through life as a Cubs fan, a Chiefs fan, which until recently was miserable, and a St. Louis Blues fan until they completely broke me and ruined my spirit. So it's been a
and then they won the cup when you disbanded them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I gave up on them before the strike. Like when they won the President's Trophy and then choked against the Sharks, and then the league went on strike. I was just like, I'm out on hockey. I'm out. I'm out. And then I moved to the South, where it was irrelevant.
I was thrilled with being a Red Sox fan because 86 years, and they win 4 in just a decade and change. So that was pretty cool.
I'd be happy with the Cubs getting more than the 1. That would be fine with me. But no, I repped Bluffton Wrestling tonight just because I was repping it from McCracken Baseball because it's the closest thing I have that's long sleeve and nice. I repped that at May River Hilton Head Lacrosse. So, I think I'm going to start doing that more, but I'm going to do it like, you can't wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. You got to wear the shirt of like a band that's sort of tangential to them. So I'm going to start.
I wore this tonight to the
repping other teams. Repping other schools at head-to-heads. Just for
Toledo Mud Hens, baby.
Yes.
Just to keep everybody honest. So send me your gear so I can rep it at other schools' games. Always in the market. But thanks a lot, fellas. It's great fun. We had another great audience tonight, despite not having any like high school rock stars on. I guess Max, you must be bringing the heat alone.
There you go.
Or maybe we've reached tipping point.
I haven't posted anything on Instagram or Facebook or anything. So I
think that the students who have been involved in the reporting, I think they're bringing in a good audience as well, and I hope that they will.
I think we've reached a tipping point. People are figuring out what we've been doing. If you build it, they will come, and we just keep plugging along, and they're starting to figure it out. It's like the LowcoSports Center, like I told the kids today. It's nobody that anybody outside this area would probably care to hear about, or anything they'd care to hear about. But for us, it's the biggest game of the night for everybody who's out there. and a lot of people who can't make it out there. So we're happy to try to bring it to you every night. You can catch us every morning on demand. Nobody wants to watch the Today Show till, Hoda and Kathy Lee and them come on anyway. So Kathy Lee's not on there anymore anyway, but you don't need to watch the repeat of the third hour. So just watch us instead. Every morning on the LowcoSports Lowdown if you aren't a night owl. But it seems like more and more people are staying up late with us, so we appreciate you doing so. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it all possible. And thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch. We'll catch you next time. We'll be on tomorrow night with lots to talk about from Mad Max Arage, Worldwide West Kerr. I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.